Thank you. Councillor Buchanan.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. To start, since I was asked last evening, I would just like to say that, for the record, I did receive a $1,500 contribution from Onni during my election, and as required, I declared and followed all the rules, regulations, and laws in the province of British Columbia. So moving on to the project, I would once again like to acknowledge that this is a very large, comprehensive application that has come forth to the city. It's probably not one of the largest. And I do commend as well all the community members who've come out over the last 2.5 years in the public engagement and consultation. And I do think that it's going to, if it moves forward, going to be a significant transformation in the community. And I know that, as I said at the last public hearing on November 19th, that's going to make a number of people very uncomfortable. And I think, as Mr. Tomlinson said last evening, with every development there's pros and cons. And he also went on to say that each of us has a vision for our city. And I would agree with that. However, we have a vision that we have put into our official community plan, into our plan. And that is the vision that we need to follow, not necessarily each of our own individual vision of what that might look like. And within that, we've made commitments. And we have a commitment to regional growth. And I heard a number of speakers last night speak to the fact that perhaps we should stop that growth. That's not going to happen. We have a commitment to that. We have a commitment to social, economic, and environmental sustainability. If we look at page 25 within our OCP, they are all clearly laid out, and how each lead to additional density and help us achieve our public benefits. So they are very clearly laid out in our OCP for our staff to work with applicants in moving forward developments. And so when I look at these commitments, I also reflect on what Mrs. Donna Stewart said last evening when she came up very late in the evening, and said that she's heard a lot of speakers speak to the building's height, density, traffic, and really what she wanted us to reflect upon and think about was the people that were going to be part of this particular development and community. And so when I thought about that and the other speakers who spoke, I think about Erica Frostad, who was brought up here by her mother last night, and she actually lives in our community now. And I think about Dr. Pentel, who spoke to the the type of space that he needs in the employment generating office for the type of healthcare services that himself and other healthcare professionals need to provide that we don't currently provide in the city, and that it fits well with the redevelopment of the Hope Center that's currently happening at the LGH site, as well as the future redevelopment of LGH precinct in the future. And I think about Mr. Taylor and many of the other younger community members who spoke about the need for childcare and the inability to find childcare, good quality childcare. And when we went to a presentation of Congress last week, we were told that across the North Shore, we only have 36% of the spaces required for childcare across the North Shore. In the city of North Vancouver, which I have been a parent with 4 children, it is very difficult to find. And I think about our older citizens who want to age in place and our younger citizens who are looking to get into the market. And when I think about all these benefits, it is a balance, and I agree it is a balance, but these amenities and these contributions far outweigh the density that some people are opposed to. I agree with Councillor Bell. I think a taller, skinnier building helps to succeed in that balance. And I do believe that it is actually our responsibility. These are people that live in our community now. And for us to sit and wait and collect cash for some piece of land that we think we're going to find in our very small 5 square mile to develop some of these ourselves, or wait for the province or the federal government to step forward, we are wishing on a dream. It's not going to happen. And so I do believe it is our responsibility within our community to support the people who live here, who aren't as fortunate as some of the rest of us. I do believe that this project has gone through tremendous community consultation. What we have is that evolution of engagement and back and forth and a fourth go around. And I think what we have in front of us now is tremendous. I think it's going to be a huge benefit to the community, and I will be supporting it, and I will be supporting Councillor Bell's amendment when he puts it forth. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Buchanan. Councillor Keane, just before we wrap up, I'm going to make my comments. First of all, I mentioned yesterday that I would mention or speak about conflict of interest, and I will do so now. I have complied with all the provincial, municipal laws and regulations, as well as the Election Act, and I will be voting on this. I did receive a donation from Onni Developments, which I believe is RPMG Holdings, for $5,000, and I'll be very clear about that up front. So, I'd like
I just wanted to comment. I received no contributions. I just wanted to make that clear. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bell. I want to thank all of you tonight. I want to thank the others maybe that are watching online, the ones that came out, and indeed the ones over almost a 3-year process that this has gone through. I did make a comment the other day that I think everyone in this room will agree with, that we all want some finality one way or the other. We all want this to be dealt with because it's been on for so long. Whether it was back wanting a museum at the site or affordable housing or what, the 3 towers down to 2 towers, the non-office office. People want to move on with their lives, make a decision, and I think we're going to do that tonight. I am supporting this project as it goes forward.